Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this Saturday night edition of the On the Ropes podcast. So you guys know we talk a lot about Dynasty, and coming up October 12th, Dynasty returns with Return to Neverland. As a post right here, yes, I know the location's not the same, but to talk about Dynasty and all things about it, the man behind it all, the one, the only Chris Envy. Chris, how you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic, man. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well. I'm glad to have you back on, but I want to talk briefly about the last show. And
Okay.
I want to talk about the Rumble at the end.
Yes.
You know what spot I'm about to talk about.
Yes.
What happened with that spot at the end?
Are you talking about the one where my son involved himself in a match?
Yeah, then you came in and the person who was in the mask, who we won't say the name of, ducked, and things happened.
My son he's a grown boy. He's 19 years old. He can handle his own business. He unfortunately genetically he got my temper, and I am a hothead. It takes a lot to set me off, but once I am set off, I usually don't calm down until I feel I've justified whatever I was trying to do. My son knows that he was there when I broke my neck. He was there in the ambulance. He was there in the hospital when his dad wasn't moving. He was there when they wouldn't let his dad stand up. He was there when his dad went on vacation and couldn't look at screens because of my concussion. He was there through all that. He was young. It was 2017. 7 years ago, he was 12 years old. Can you imagine watching your dad die in front of you at 12 years old? So he knows that I can't get back in that ring. I had a broken neck. There's like 6 different things wrong with my neck. I had spinal fusion surgery a few years before that. I'm a mess. I can't wrestle. He knows that. So he feels he needs to defend my honor. And he thought Fox was a friend, and he felt Fox was picking on me and talking shit about me. He thinks thinks he's better than me because he can still wrestle, and he's done things I could never do. I never went to Impact. I never went to AEW. Fox has done all those things. NWA. So yeah, I'm jealous. I'm bitter, but whatever. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it. Maverick can. So he feels he has to step in for his father's honor. He doesn't. He does not need to do that. But if somebody disrespects your mom, you think you're going to be able to say, no, don't go do that? No. You immediately start seeing red and want to swing on somebody. And then, like I said, that's Maverick gets that from his dad. So he tried to involve himself in a match, and Fox whooped his ass a couple months ago. He whooped his ass. And don't think the receipt's not coming, you piece of shit. However, Maverick is a grown boy. He knew that Fox wasn't going to be at the Altamont Fair. I told him there's no way I'm going to use him at the Altamont Fair because he put his hands on my kid. And Fox found a way to get into that match anyway. Can you imagine what I would have had to do had he won that Rumble? So Fox was in the match, even though he wasn't supposed to be. I don't really pay attention who's in the locker room. I know if people are there, people that I don't want in the locker room, that's what I noticed. We had a couple other guys in masks in the back. It's a Rumble. I don't notice. So Maverick did. When I saw Maverick in the ring, I left the audio table and I went running like, what is my kid going to do this time? Fox is a trained wrestler. He knows what he's doing in the ring. We've been in the ring together. We have shared a ring more than one occasion. So he knows what he's doing. Maverick doesn't. Maverick is never trained. He's just blindly swinging to try and make things even for his dad. So when he saw Fox in the ring, he ran. When I saw my kid in the ring, I ran. Like, no, don't do that. I saw Maverick standing outside the ring, deer in headlights, not knowing what to do. Fox, a big dude, continues to get bigger with every meal, staring at my kid who's helpless on the outside of the ring. What am I supposed to do? Let him hit my kid again? No. When I ran in the ring, I tried to hit Fox to slow him down so Maverick could get away. Like, come on. Fox moved. I was a ball of fire. I came in. I was pissed. I hit Mav. Now, clearly, I've aged and I'm more mature because I didn't go after Fox. I went to check on my kid. That was my goal. I went to take care of Maverick. Maverick got himself involved when he shouldn't have. That's twice. But I wasn't there for Fox. I was there for my kid. And I will always be there for my kid.
And I agree with you on that 100%. Now, let me ask you this, though. What does the future now hold for Fox? As far as he was suspended, he showed up unannounced. Where does that put him now going further?
So apparently suspensions don't work so well at Dynasty. Everybody feels like it's a storyline. I didn't book Fox for the Rumble. Taylor one shot. I knew she was in the building. I didn't book her for her show when she showed up. She was suspended by DeVille. That was DeVille's decision, not Dynasty's decision. She said, "Don't show up." DeVille showed up. Taylor showed up. I said, "Fox, don't show up. I don't need you." He got in the Rumble. My suspension was really to give Maverick time to cool down. Go a show without him. Feel what Dynasty is supposed to feel like again. Family friendly, fun. It really is a family in the locker room. And when Fox is picking on me, talking shit about me, it doesn't feel the same way. So let's not use Fox this show. There's a lot of people that don't get booked on every show. How many shows did we go without seeing Wayno or Brandon Smith? Not everybody is on every show. It's just the way it is. It's all the way up at the top. You don't see everybody every show.
No.
Do a show without Fox. Let things cool down. Let cooler heads prevail. But we didn't get that. Fox had to be Fox. So I am going to book Fox for October. And no, it's not against me. And no, it's not against my untrained 19-year-old son. But I am going to put him in a match. There's no point in suspending him. He's a draw. People want to see him. They want to see him wrestle. They want to see him fight. And if people want to see Fox fight anywhere in New York, it's got to be a Dynasty. So am I going to let somebody else make the money to see Fox? No. I'll put him on the card because I'm a businessman. You want to see Fox wrestle? You pay me to see it.
Except I did remember going back to the interview I did with him, and he kept saying, now he's the marquee. And I kind of looked at him and I said, how are you the marquee if you've only been on the poster one time?
That's not true. He was on two. He was on Brace for Impact. And okay. He was on it was All a Dream. The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Forgot.
Ironically, he was the Cowardly Lion.
But I think with him, he looks at it as he's the marquee. He should be on every poster.
How is he the marquee?
Again, he talks. He likes to talk.
Well, everybody in Dynasty is right here, man. Everybody. He's beat a lot of people. Not everybody, but he's beat a lot of people. So, yeah, he's good, and eventually he'll probably earn himself a title shot. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let that man hold that beautiful championship belt. If he earns it, he will have earned it because I'm going to put every roadblock in front of him to make sure he's not the face of the company.
I totally get that. Speaking about the face of the company, I want to get your thoughts on Johan winning the title. How have you thought of him as champion so far?
Well, Johan travels all over the place, everywhere. He's in Arkansas coming up. He earned that championship in the ladder match. However, he hasn't defended it in a singles match since he won. And that was, when was that? June 29th, yeah, he won the championship. He hasn't defended it since. But I will say he had been a very respectable champion until Altamont Fair. I'm not sure what happened, what snapped, what went wrong, but the way he handled business isn't the way a champion at Dynasty should be handling things.
Now, with that being said, obviously, let's look at the other side of the equation here for a second. Black Rose. I said this to him after the show, and that he should be the number one contender if Johan didn't do the tactic he did. Is it fair to say that Black Rose is number one contender, or how's that playing out?
Well, okay, everybody wants the storyline and everybody wants the spoilers in wrestling. Like, let me know what's going on. Listen, it is what it is at Dynasty. I don't call the shots at every show. I pay the taxes. Okay, we are the Dynasty. What happened was, and everybody can go back and watch the footage if I ever get it from our video guy. Johan was on commentary, yes. However, he was the first entrant in the Rumble. He was number one. So he went and he came in. When he left the ring, when Black Rose attacked him, he went through the middle. So when he came in at the end and he eliminated Black Rose, he was within his rights to do so. So really, there is no number one contender right now. As shady and shitty and underhanded as it was also quite brilliant to be the first one, not wrestle at all, come in to congratulate the would-be number one contender and toss him out. That's exactly what he did. It was quite brilliant. I don't approve of it, but he didn't break any rules.
No, when you play it like that, he actually did play by the rules on that one. On that part, I can see that. Yeah. But yeah. I know there's a lot of people who are gunning for that title, though.
I mean, anybody who wrestles should want that title, whether you work for Dynasty or you don't. That's a gorgeous championship. It's got a lot of it doesn't have a lineage because it's a new championship, but I feel like we're trying to do things a little bit differently at Dynasty, and we're not stopping. So if you wrestle, you should want that heavyweight championship. If you don't, you're in the wrong business.
I know. I agree with that 100%. One more thing I want to get to with that show before we move forward with October. The moment that nobody saw coming, Kristen, Miss DeVille and Taylor Jordan forces, which, by the way, they will be on the show next Wednesday.
Good, because they won't be on October's show.
Yeah, how surprised are you with that one?
I was just as shocked, okay? I didn't see it coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. It blew my mind. I was standing there. I was at audio because we didn't have a sound guy because Emmanuel had other things to do. I don't know what he was doing. So I was at sound, running the sound booth with KJ, and then I look up and I see DeVille with a chair in her hand, but she doesn't hit Taylor. She hits Layla. Well, dummy, the match was advertised as a loser leaves Dynasty match. You fucking idiot. Why would you cheat and intentionally lose a match where the loser is gone? So like I said, those two idiots are not going to be at Dynasty in October. DeVille is no longer the general manager of the Diamonds division. You lost. I don't know how much more obvious it could be. I am not a character on screen. I am not the evil authority. That's not me. If these are the rules you need to follow, dummy. So I'm glad they're on your show. Of course, I'll tune in. Anytime you have anybody Dynasty, I tune in. But you have everybody else. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't listen because I don't give a shit. But anybody Dynasty related, I tune in, I watch, and I listen. You do a good job. Good luck with these two clowns, but good luck.
I've dealt with worse. I've dealt with Fox on here. Can't be much worse.
And Ryan Peterson for how many weeks?
Yeah. I want to look ahead towards October, but before we do that, we do have some comments coming here. Actually, from the sound guy who actually has some comments to say here. He goes, "That was wild." Talking about you with Maverick in the Rumble. He also says he thinks Fox is going to be the face of the company.
Don't you have to be a face to be the face of the company? I don't know. Maybe not. He paints his face.
He wants the damn title.
Who doesn't?
No, he does. Emmanuel.
Oh, yeah. Well, show up to every show, you piece of garbage.
But I want to look ahead towards October because October finally is coming to fruition. looking back now, the fact that we're at the 1 year mark, in essence,
Sure.
how, just reflecting here, how have you felt with the last year of Dynasty since the relaunch?
Listen, I'm going to shoot straight with you. We came out like gangbusters. We were on top of the world. We went viral on X, controversially, but we went viral. We were hitting on all cylinders. We were doing great until February. Then we had a show in April. Venue sucked. The name that we had booked for that show wasn't able to attend, and they told us probably 2-3 weeks out. 2 weeks. I had already booked the flight, but whatever. So they weren't able to attend. So then it was just local talent. We didn't have that big draw. Then we did the Pride show, and everything was up again. People were talking about us. The county, the local government was reaching out to us to do different events. And then we did Brace for Impact. And then it was like up and down, up and down. We had Zilla Fatu, who's currently in the news for a very similar situation, failing to appear at yet another event, just like he did at SummerSlam, just like he did for us. He didn't show up. So now, again, we don't have a name on the show. Not to say that independent wrestling can't or shouldn't be booked around your local stars. It should. However, if your fans aren't invested in your product, it's very hard in New York to make money. We've talked about that before. New York, we have to have liability insurance, $1 million. We have to have a bond, $20,000. We have to have a doctor. We have to have an ambulance, which is $350 for every hour that you're wrestling, typically 2 to 3 hours. We have all these other expenses. So it's very difficult for us to make money. If we're not making money, we can't afford to bring in a big name. Most of the independent wrestling fans around here want the big name. Sure, they love wrestling if it's $10, but if we need to make money and cover all of our expenses, we need to charge at least $20. If we charge $20, we might be able to break even. So it's hard to bring a name in. We were right here in February, and we've done a little bit of this, and I feel like we've just become another independent company. That's going to change in October. And I don't ever want you to feel like you're just going to a regular show, because we try really hard to do things different, from the entrance to the aesthetics, to the merchandise, to the people we book, to the storylines that are long-term storylines. How long did DeVille and Taylor have that rivalry? How long is Punk and Fury? They've been going at each other for months too. Like Wayno and Mr. Man with Brandon Smith in the mix. That storyline goes back to the old version of the Dynasty. So we try to do things different, but our video team isn't always there to be able to. They miss a couple things, but that is what it is. We don't have all of the footage cut where you can go back and watch, like, oh shit, that's what's going on in that story. I can't wait to go see that. You kind of have to show up, and hopefully you remember. But this show, we're at the Linda. We do have a video screen at this show, so there should be a couple packages that should catch everybody up. It's a very tight venue, so seating is very limited. We have a lot of Hall of Famers coming to this show. We have Andrew Anderson. We have one of the last surviving member of the Bushwhackers. The Beast, Dan Severin's coming. We have Brett Azar, who played the Sheik on Young Rock on NBC's show. There's at least one more surprise, potentially two, depending on when flights land. So I'm happy with where we're headed, but there's a big chunk of 2024 that I don't wish I erased it. I just wish things had fallen into place. Brace for Impact. We had somebody from Impact at TNA at the time, or TNA now, that was supposed to come in. Had Zilla showed up. It is what it is, card subject to change, but I feel we could be at a much higher level than we are right now.
And I think give it time. And you guys just did the library event this past week, and I thought that was absolutely brilliant, because you don't see a lot of wrestling companies do stuff like that.
That's true. Schenectady County also asked us if we wanted to be in the holiday parade this year. So with Rita Chatterton's blessing with her trailer, we're going to have a wrestling themed float in the holiday parade this year. We did the Altamont Fair. We did a Pride event. Hopefully we're doing 2 Pride events next year. It was definitely a year of firsts. We're currently working on a skateboarding event. We're also working on another local event in October. That's not really a Dynasty event, but it does incorporate the community. We're trying to do a wrestle or bowling with wrestlers event coming up, probably in November. So we're doing a lot of different things that, I mean, we want to feel like you're part of the community. You're part of the family. We are the Dynasty. It's not me. I'm not the face of the company. It's not all of the wrestlers that we book because we rotate different people in. It's everybody. The podcasts that cover us, the commentators, the ring announcers, the referees, the camera guys, Jason and Andrew on photography, literally everybody, ring crew, the people selling tickets at the door, shout out Ash, the lyric at the merch table, everybody, the venues themselves, whoever puts up flyers on the street team, Tim Beagle for handing out 100 flyers at the last show. Everybody, we are the Dynasty.
We do have some more comments coming in here. Billy's chiming in here, checking us out tonight.
See, we are the Dynasty.
And Emmanuel said, yeah, I don't know what that was in reference to.
He's special. Is he drunk?
I think so. Do want to announce something while I have you on, because on our show on October 1st, we're actually doing sort of a different show that night. And it is in relation to the 1 year anniversary. Because it's also the debut of NXT on CW that night, we're going to be doing sort of a watch along. But intertwined with the watch along, we are doing a look back at the 1 year of the Dynasty.
Oh, shit. Nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah. What we're doing is we are going to have either our top 5 moments of the last year, or who our Mount Rushmore would be of the first year.
Oh, damn, that's Mount Rushmore is tough for independents because, I mean, we had Jay Lethal at a couple shows. Does he make the Mount Rushmore because he's huge? You know, like because he's a big star. Does Velveteen Dream? I mean, there's a lot. Mount Rushmore would be tough. Top 5 moments would be good because then you could have your people vote on it. You could have people call in or vote or whatever.
Well, the thing is also, like, I'll just go back to this one more time. The reason I picked the people I did on here, there's a reason behind it. I picked them because they're the ones who we've seen the most of. Like, we've seen Black Rose at a lot of the shows. Taylor has been a huge part. Sergeant Fury has been a huge part. Fox has been a huge part, even though, you know, he likes to talk a lot. But that's why. So, guys, coming up October 1st, we'll be doing a 1 year look back of the Dynasty. And I want to kind of, you know, go a little bit more into that show on October 12th. You know, what can fans expect from that show?
We're getting back to basics. For me, basics are a very regimented formula for the way that I want a show to flow. We do have surprises again, which we haven't had in a while. We have certain things need to be buttoned up, and we're trying to do that at this show. My son is finally going to clear the air with Fox. We're going to have Loudmouth Leo come in, and he's going to interview him, and they're going to have a nice little sit-down talk, clear the air, get it over and done with, and then please go back to selling your candy. You know, go train. If you want to do this, go train. I will tell you, we're going to have a Diamonds match, a rematch from the Altamont Fair with Tina San Antonio taking on Kelly Madden. Should be an absolute banger. 2 of independent wrestling's hottest unsigned, take that however you want, hottest unsigned talents. They should both be signed. I don't know why they're not, but they will be. Here, well, let me tell you one more match that's going to blow the fuck. Hopefully people give it shit, because I do. I'm quite honestly, Punk and Fury have been going at each other so much for the last several months. It's gotten so incredibly personal. People have been put through tables. I mean, I don't know how it could get more personal, but I need this to come to a head and end this fighting. Like, I'm not saying Dynasty is only big enough for one of them. It's 2024, and people are getting shots to lose weight. But I feel we need some kind of blow off match. Like, this is it, guys. You guys fight, may the best man win, shake hands at the end, and you don't have to be friends. You don't have to. You don't have to talk to each other. But in Dynasty, everybody is respectful. Everybody is respectful. So, with this being the anniversary of our rebirth, if you will, we are going to put these two men in a Big Jim memorial match, which means it will be a hardcore match.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a small venue. I will say, any of the fans that would like to bring a weapon for this match, feel free. Can't guarantee it'll be used, but bring a weapon. Let them use it. It's a Big Jim match. This match is going to be big.
You brought up the Big Jim, and obviously it's the first we're hearing of Big Jim since the relaunch back in October. Is the Big Jim Memorial match going to be synonymous now with the anniversary show?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim was a good friend to a lot of people. Fell in some hard times towards the end, but his real friends stuck by him, and he always stuck by us. The guy never had a bad thing to say about anybody that I knew. Even the people that were wronging him, he never put a negative light on them. He just said how he could have handled it better, and that's not easy to do. So he was a big part of Dynasty. He was super humble. He came in not looking for money, just give me a chance. We gave him a chance, and the dude, he aligned himself with Mike King, who was the general manager at the time, in the King's Court, and he was the first one to deflect off because he didn't like doing shitty things. So the dude's a stand-up guy. As long as we have a show in October, there will be a Big Jim Memorial match on that show.
And I agree about Punk and Theory because somehow this podcast has sort of become intertwined.
For sure.
With that storyline.
It's your fault. Blame you, John.
Yep, blame me. But no, I mean, I agree with you, though, about those two guys. Those two guys, and I use Brace for Impact as sort of like the launching point for that.
Yeah, it was I agree.
Ever since that show, it almost seems like we've seen a different Fury. Because I remember I had you on right before Brace for Impact, and you even said, what are we going to, what type of Fury are we going to get? And I think looking at from Brace to Impact to the Schenectady show to Light Up the Sky, we're seeing more of a hardcore Fury.
Yeah, a little darker. There's definitely a little darker side to him. He's not as happy-go-lucky, smiling, coming out with the fans. He's like straight-faced. I mean, he comes out and he still high-fives everybody, but he's a lot more business. He's not as much fun and playful, which is weird at the same time because anybody who knows Sergeant Fury knows the dude is awesome. He'll laugh with you. He's sarcastic. He's a funny dude. So to see him not making jokes and just being all business, it's different. I don't know that I like it, but I mean, guy's going through some shit.
I mean, I remember I had him on right before Brace for Impact, and somehow I got it out of him in the interview. And you can definitely go back and watch it. And not that I'm tooting my own horn here, but I feel like ever since then, it's like a light switch went off on him.
Yeah. Yeah. So did the F-bombs.
But looking back now at with the relaunch and everything, who has been some people who have surprised you?
Layla has definitely stepped up. Did not see that coming. I thought she was just going to come in as a pretty face and move along to the next one, but she's showed up to train. She's at every event. She's helping with ring crew. Like, Layla has definitely came into this family with open arms, and that I did not see that coming. Black Rose, he's really shown an it factor lately. I don't know where it's coming from. He does the little things that most people don't notice. Most people wouldn't care about. You're looking for the big move, the big flippy spot, but his timing is impeccable, and the veracity that he's hitting people. You're not having a match with Black Rose and walking away not sore. The dude he's there to prove a point, and he's doing it. I mean, Rando stepping up as a referee. Like, for those of you who don't know, Justin Rando, our referee, the hot bod ref with the bald head and the beautiful baby blue eyes, he's a wrestler. He's a legit good freaking worker, in better shape than 90% of the 95% of independent wrestling locker rooms, including our own. The dude is a worker everywhere else except Dynasty. Not to say that he couldn't or that he won't, but the guy can work. And as a referee, he had never refed before he came to us. We met at a show about a year ago in November, maybe September, I don't know. About a year ago we met. Still not getting those shoes, by the way. And he asked if he could ref, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess we have a referee, but you can come in. And the dude has been lights out ever since. He doesn't miss much. He's still in phenomenal shape. I mean, he's tried to get himself involved in a Rumble. He almost got that wild hair climbing up the ladder during the ladder match. There's something different about Rando. I mean, everybody's really done a great job this year, honestly, except Patches. No, Patches is great. He's stepped up in a lot of ways that nobody else will understand. He's been there. He's a rock. He's a great dude.
And I
Don't
said, I'll make sure that part gets edited out.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
You don't edit these. You don't edit these. Who are you kidding?
No, I do them straight live now.
Yeah, I can tell.
But no, I mean, in all seriousness, I make the drive up for as many shows as I can. And a lot of times they're early in the morning that I'm leaving my house at 7 a.m. to come up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long drive. Hopefully it's worth it.
Oh, I'll be honest, it's 100% worth it.
Good.
It's 100% worth it because I get to see really good wrestling. Yes. And I get to see wrestling that I'm going to remember.
Yeah, you do seem to retain a lot of our storylines, which is good.
That's why one of the things I love with the show is after a Dynasty show, I'm usually sitting here. I mean, you've seen it now that I'm sitting here for a good 20 minutes or a half hour recapping the show.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Those are my favorite times, honestly, even at the library when we're done and the ring is loaded and we're all just standing around talking after a show. That is my favorite. Yes, I love to come out and see a packed house and a full crowd and you hit that moment and the roof blows off and it feels great. I love those. I do. But the standing around after, the brainstorming, the what was great, what we could have done better. Did you see when this happened? That's what makes it all worth it. When people the next day, when Jason and Andrew are posting all their pictures and people, fans and Jericho are all sharing their videos, like that's when it really sinks in. You're like, thank you, Albany. Thank you, Schenectady. Thank you, Amsterdam, wherever we are. Thank you. So I completely can empathize with the way that you're feeling.
And apparently Fox now has a comment. He goes, is he even cleared to be on a wrestling podcast?
I'm not wrestling, you piece of shit. I can sit here and talk with the best of them. Shave your head, you idiot. Shave your head. Guy wrestling in fucking Walmart painter pants. Calls himself professional.
I was going to say, for him to get a haircut, it'd be the shortest haircut ever.
He should. Nobody's going to take Fox Vineyard seriously with that stupid blonde piece on the back of his head. He's not even blonde when he has hair. He colors it on purpose. You're paying $12 for that stupid little patch of bleach. You do the same. I don't wrestle in painter's pants. What are you talking about? You do the same. Fox is an idiot. If I didn't like Fox as a person, I would still book him because people pay money. But I don't like him. Most people don't. If you took a survey, how many people like Fox Vineyard? Some fans would, but people who actually work with interact, talk to on a personal level, they would all say no.
All right. Hold on. He said for you to shave your head. Aren't you bald already?
I am, you fucking idiot. All of it.
Ay, ay, ay. But
Shave your head. Okay, Fox. No, never mind. I'll pick somebody, and if my person that I pick beats Fox has to shave his head.
oh, apparently Fox wants you to prove it now. Take your hat off. Take the hat off.
Nope.
Oh, great. Now he's going to start trying to make a chant go in the comment section for you to take your hat off.
Nope.
But I got one more question for you. In the since the relaunch, and we've had the Capital Gains show, you had the Marlboro 2, it was all a dream. What would be your favorite match that you saw in the 1 year since the relaunch?
Damn, favorite match. That's really tough because I look at things objectively. I look at it from a production standpoint. I look at it from a fan standpoint. I look at it from a former wrestler standpoint. I don't always get to watch every match either because I'm either in the back or doing other things at a show. So I can't honestly answer that with all of the shows that we've had. Not being able to see every match, I don't know that it would be fair for me to pick one.
No, and okay, let me rephrase the question then. Let me do moment then that you've seen. What would it be?
You know what? Probably when Jay Lethal showed up for the first time. When Jay Lethal was there at Capitol Games and nobody knew, the locker room didn't know, nobody knew. Jay just showed up and he put us on the map. That's when people stood up and took notice. We didn't have Jay there to make a buck or to sell autographs or 8x10s. We were there to say thank you. You took a chance on Dynasty. We're going to give you everything we got. So when he showed up the first time, I thought that was phenomenal. I feel when Velveteen Dream chose us to be the company to make his return to wrestling, and he's wrestling all over now. He's doing interviews and signings and Comic-Cons. He chose us to do that. The ladder match where we crowned a champion, first champion of the new generation of Dynasty. And there's been a lot of moments, man. A lot of moments when HVO came back and unfortunately helped Fox beat Conan. There's so many things. As shitty as it is, when my kid got bloodied at a wrestling show, it's still a proud moment. Like, oh shit, my kid's trying to wrestle. That was fucking awesome. Except the fact it was my kid getting beat up. That part sucks. But when you look at it afterwards, that was a pretty big moment. Until the bloodline with WWE, Maverick didn't give a shit about wrestling. And that roped him in with a good story. And now, I mean, the dude he loves it. He's making money on TikTok covering wrestling.
Well, we do got some more comments coming in here, so let me go to some more of these comments. Billy says, no more taking clothes off on this podcast.
I mean, we could take clothes off. The hat doesn't come off, though. Look, I'm bald, but I'm not proud to be bald. If I could have hair or be bald, I would definitely have hair. I just happened to shave it.
It's actually funny, and then we'll go to boxing time here in a second. You mentioned about having the hair part. One of the last times I was at Ryan Peterson's house, you're going to laugh at this one, and I have not told you this yet. I actually saw the match that he was the ring announcer for with you, and I forgot who the other guy was. It was one of
Ricky Martinez. Was it a Dynasty match?
No, it was out on Long Island.
Was it a cage match?
Yes.
Yeah, Cash Camacho.
Yeah. And
the state athletic commission shut that match down because Cash was bleeding so bad.
Yeah, I was yeah, he showed me that one recently, and I was looking like who's the other guy? He goes, that's Chris, and he goes, that's Chris. I said, wow.
I had hair. It wasn't
Yeah.
a spat. Yeah. That was
Uh
a good match. I love that match.
Fox says when Jay Lethal told him to get the F out of the ring, like HBK/Brett.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good moment.
The 7 Network says the Mav, Chris, and Fox storyline is great. Looking forward to the sit down at the next show.
There's no storyline. There's no story. Fox talks shit to me because that's just the kind of relationship we have. He talks shit, he teases me, he pokes at me. He knows at a wrestling show I can't do anything back. We go back and forth in our comments, we talk shit in our group chat. Maverick saw that, he sees it, he knows if I could wrestle, we'd have a great rivalry. You know, Fox would be a great opponent because I've beat him before. But Maverick takes it personal. He knows I can't do that. And he knows for my ego, it hurts not being able to be in there. I mean, think of all these NFL players who are hurt and their careers get cut short, but you still see them on the sideline. It fucking hurts, man. When I got in the ring and I hit my own kid off the apron, I wanted more than anything to turn around and finish that match. Street clothes or not, being in that ring, when we did Pride and I was testing the ropes out early, part of it was, yeah, I got to make sure the ropes are tight. The other part was, I just miss being in the ring. So if I was ever cleared, I would 100% go after Fox. But truth be told, I don't give a shit about being cleared. I'm not going to waste my time going to a doctor so I can fight some journeyman never was whose ego's bigger than anything he's ever accomplished in life. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that guy. Maverick can do that now. He can carry on the legacy of being a decent independent wrestler. Because I was decent. I was pretty popular in Massachusetts. New York never got to see Chris Envy because all we had was a shitty in-your-face wrestling, and that they didn't like me. Most people don't.
I get it. No, believe me, I get it. Fox, I have a couple more comments coming in here. Fox said apparently Jay told him he thought he was taller.
Who told him that?
I have no idea. And then he also said, hey, some days are shittier than others.
It's true.
No,
It's
he is.
very vague, but you're right.
He is. But, Chris, you know I have been a huge supporter of the Dynasty.
You have. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it.
Since the relaunch, a lot of people have said one of the things they love with it, and we were talking about this before, a lot of people love is when I do the recaps on the shows.
Yeah.
Because people feel like they can somehow stay, keep an eye on what's going on. Yeah. And like I said, I actually want to give you your flowers now.
For what? You don't have to do that. I don't need the spotlight.
I just want to, not Dynasty related here for a second, in regards to this podcast. Because you and I had a conversation a couple months ago. You know exactly what conversation I'm talking about. It was right after the show in February.
Yeah.
And you said to me, and I quote, why not try it on your own? See what happens.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And this show has gone to levels and gone to heights I never thought it would.
You do a great job. You don't need a partner. You do a great job. When there's two people, you're stumbling on each other's words. You're waiting for somebody else to make a punchline. He's eating and drinking and chewing on ice. You don't need that. You're getting good, talented people, and you tell the story. You give it a recap where people are. If I'm not at a show, I know why they're fighting. I know what happened. You pull it all together like Mean Gene used to do in the recaps. I mean, you do a good job. You don't need somebody else for that. These are more. Chris Van Vliet doesn't have anybody.
No, here's the funny thing. This is a fan of the show. I don't think he's been to a Dynasty show.
That's true, Kevin.
But yeah, that to me is a huge compliment. I appreciate that.
For sure.
I do appreciate that.
That's why we let you go live every show. You do a good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, like I said, the podcasts that cover Dynasty, that's part of who we are. It's not me. It's not my company. I just pay the taxes. It's us all together. I listen to other people's ideas for who should fight who sometimes. Usually tell you no, but there might be a reason. And I mean, we're building this together. And this is only one year. Imagine what next year is going to be. More fairs, more libraries, more bowling, more us doing things together, more community involvement, more coverage from the media and social media and news outlets.
Yeah, exactly. And you know damn well I'm going to be there for the ride.
Good, I hope so.
You know I'm going to be there for the ride. Just want to show the poster one more time. Guys, Return to Neverland, Saturday, October 12th. Guys, you're not going to want to miss it. You got people who have watched the show since the start know that I speak from the heart. And there's something with going to a Dynasty show. You especially when Dynasty is running at Empire Live, and I said this after the first show, it doesn't look like a wrestling show. It looks like a movie set.
Yeah. We're not back there until February, unfortunately. We have this show coming up, and then December we're doing a high school fundraiser. So we're not back until February.
Yeah, and hold on. I just have to Fox, I know it's not at the Dome. We kind of I kind of realized I didn't have time to grab the new poster yet.
You said that at the beginning. He wasn't paying attention. He heard his name, so he had to tune in.
But Chris, where can fans find tickets and connect with the Dynasty? If they want to connect on social media.
This event is actually, we're working together with the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame that is in the atrium of the MVP Arena in downtown Albany, right down the street from Empire Live, actually, walking distance. The Hall of Fame has an induction dinner every year. And this year we were the company that they chose and requested that we put on the wrestling portion of it. So our show is Saturday. You can get tickets at purplepass.com/HOF for Hall of Fame. Tickets are available at the door as well, but they will be more expensive at the door because seating is limited. So please buy them in advance. There are group tickets available. They come in 4 and 10, and you get a discount for each level. Well, you're on there buying tickets for the wrestling show. Also get tickets to go to the induction dinner because you can be there. Bill Apter is going to be there. All of the people that I listed on our end are going to be there, as far as Andrew Anderson, Dan Severin, Tony Atlas is going to be there. Bushwhacker Luke is going to be there. I don't know for sure if Brett is going to be there or not. Justin Rando is actually going this year. I believe Fox Vineyard is going to be there this year as official guests. So Dynasty has become a pretty big part with the Hall of Fame, and we hope to continue that. Dan Severin just announced today that he is challenging Seth Turner, the chairman of the Hall of Fame, to a professional thumb wrestling match for the championship at the show on Saturday. So, I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Sorry, I forgot about it. I was kind of excited talking shit about Fox. It's my favorite pastime. But, yeah, so professional thumb wrestling, it's a real thing. There is a real championship belt and an actual board. You can buy those boards. You can request them. Seth custom makes them. But there's going to be Dan Severin is taking on Seth Turner for the championship at Return to Neverland.
Guys, you're not going to want to miss it. I always look forward to that weekend because that's actually how I got introduced to Upstate Wrestling, was the Hall of Fame. And ever since then, I have made it for the last 2 years. And Chris, all I'm going to say is I've seen the last 2 companies that ran. Yeah, I think they made the right choice this year.
Thank you. I mean, there were some issues with those other companies, but they tried.
No, they definitely did. They definitely did. But again, Chris, I appreciate, everything that you've done as far as bringing me as a non-wrestler into the Dynasty group, into the Dynasty family. And I'm very appreciative and I'm very grateful for that. And guys, like I said, October 12th, it all goes down. live from the Linda up in Albany, New York. You're not going to want to miss it. And then the next night is the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which also I do want to make another mention. From 12 to 3, you can actually get a tour of the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
From 12 to 3, they are doing tours. That's where a lot of the guys are going to be sitting over in that area. That's how I kind of got my tour last year, was through that.
Yeah. Yep.
And
they got some great stuff in there. They really do. They're doing a good job.
They definitely do. But Chris, good to let you run. Guys, you know damn well we will be talking a lot about Dynasty in the weeks to come, as coming up on Wednesday, live on this podcast, I will have probably the biggest moment that we've seen in Dynasty this year, as Kristen DeVille and Taylor One Shot will be live on this show with comments being made for the first time since the shocking moment happened. So you're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be huge. But guys, again, I appreciate all the support. It means a lot. Catch me live again this coming Tuesday for all your wrestling talk. And guys, again, go support We Are the Dynasty. At one of these shows, I still want to buy at least a t-shirt. I have not bought a t-shirt yet.
We just ordered new ones from, I think the name is Dimension Tees in New Jersey. Great company. We got mostly bigger sizes. Almost all of them are XL, 2X, and 3X. So we should have, and they're red. They're not black. So a little different.
And also, guys, while you're looking at that, go to Pro Wrestling Tees, because Around the Ropes has a Pro Wrestling Tees store. Yep. Doing big things. But again, Chris, thank you so much for hopping on.
Sure. Thank you. It was fun.
For Chris Envy, I'm John. This has been Around the Ropes podcast. See you guys next time.